Good morning. How are y'all today? I hope everyone's doing well. Second day in the work week if you were off Monday, so I hope everything's going well for you. I talked with a friend yesterday whose day was kind of overwhelmed, and I remember those days. I do. I remember those days, especially if you worked any kind of retail that was closed on a holiday or customer service that was closed on a holiday. Things could really be rough the day after. And also the fact that the day after was the first of the month. That can be difficult. So if you had a day like that, I hope today's better for you. I really do. I have a question for you today, and I would love to hear your responses. But have you ever played Follow the Leader? Game we played as a kid. Played it many times. If you haven't played it or you're not familiar with it by any chance, the whole premise of the game is to follow the person in front of you and do exactly what they do. Okay, kind of like a moving around version of Simon Says. But, you have to, you do exactly what the person in front of you is doing. You're leader. So you're going to emulate them. You're going to, if they raise their hand, you're going to raise your hand. If they walk 3 steps, you're going to walk 3 steps. So you're going to follow what the leader, the person in front of you, does. Well, I bring this up. Now, stay with me. I just want you to listen, because I'll tell you again and again, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're a stay-at-home mom. I don't care if you're an individual contributor in a workplace. I don't care what you're doing. You're leading someone somehow, some way. And that person is following you. Do y'all remember the commercial? Those of y'all that are older like I am, do you remember the commercials back, I believe it was in the 60s? There was the father sitting at the base of a tree, and he had a little boy sitting there with him. And the father picked up a pack of cigarettes, and he lit one, and he set the pack down. And the little boy picked him up and started looking at him inquiringly. And the commercial said, like father, like son. So the whole premise of this was the son, if the father smoked and had bad habits like that, the son was going to follow in those habits because he was going to emulate what his father did. He loved his father was leading him, so he was going to do what he did. So I'm bringing this out to, again, what I want you to get from this today is that we all lead. In some capacity, you're leading someone. Now my question to you is, how are you leading? I could use the term effective, but sometimes that gets lost in the muddle. But let me just ask you, are you a good leader? Okay? Are you leading those that are following you well? Think on that for a minute. What does that look like to you? Have you ever followed someone who led you astray? Have you, in your workplace, followed a leader that was not that good of a leader and that caused you problems? What about the people that raised you? Some of you I know were not raised by your parents. You may have been foster parents. You may have been raised by grandparents. But the people that raised you, were they good leaders? Did they lead you in the way? I know a lot of people, and probably some of you listening, have come from homes that weren't the best. Did those role models, those people that were leading you, did they lead you well? And that leads me to ask you, how are you leading? How are you leading those that are following you? How are you leading? Hey, Zach, I love you too, sweetie. Can't wait to see you tonight. At least I hope I see you at church tonight. But how are you leading those who are following you? Are you reaching back and putting your hand out and pulling them along? When you see them stumble, are you reaching back and helping them? That's what we should be doing as good leaders. We should be role models as to what to do and what not to do. Sometimes we do things great, sometimes not so great. But we need to be the best we can be. I am coming up with a free training that's going to be in my Facebook group. It's called Finding Your Purpose Walk. That's the name of the group, Finding Your Purpose Walk. And I am developing 2 trainings to go in the back. And I encourage you, whether you're in the workplace as a leader, whether you're leading in your home, whether you're leading in volunteer, whether you're simply giving advice to a friend, whatever you're doing, you're leading. And there are people following you. And it's, even though we act out the games of our childhood in our everyday life, that's basically what we're doing, and follow the leader. So I encourage you to join the group. I will have that in there by the end of the month. And let me see, I'll tell y'all the titles. Sorry about that. Leading with Humility is the one that it's going to be the first one out there. And that's really going to help you no matter where you're leading, whether it's in the home, in your workplace, again, volunteering, just sitting talking with a friend. That's going to help you there. There's also one that if you're in management, and if you're in management, you should be leading. Not all managers lead. Not all leaders lead effectively or lead well. I know that, for as a matter of fact. I've been under some. I've actually been a poor leader as a manager, and I'm writing my book, and I'm telling that story in the intro. But anyway, the second one is it's about managing the work. You know, you can lead people and manage the work, but you can't get that backwards. You can't manage people. I don't care what you say. It's like trying to herd cats. It's not going to work. Not only that, it's going to hurt you in your position. It's going to hurt your team. And it's something that I just don't try to manage your people. Please don't try to manage your people. If you need to talk, reach out. I'm more than happy to talk with you about this. No charge. I mean, I know I'm a coach. I know but I'll talk with you. We'll talk it out and see where you need to go from here. But your first step, if you're not in my Facebook group, is to join it. It's called Finding Your Purpose Walk. I encourage you to go through this leadership training. It's free. There's no charge for it. I encourage you to go through it because even if you don't think you're leading now, you never know when that position may come up. You never know when the opportunity to lead may come up. Even in volunteer work, you never know. If you're not married now, you may end up getting married and having kids. I don't know. You don't know what the Lord has for you. You need to be prepared. So I encourage you, again, Finding Your Purpose Walk. It's real easy to find on Facebook. Ask to join. I'll get you in there. I'd love to have you. And think that's it today. Just a real quick test on, have you ever played Follow the Leader? Let me know down there in the comments. I'd love to hear if you've ever played that game. I played it many, many, many times as a kid, along with Simon Says and other games like that require you to do what the person in front of you is doing. And remember that in real life, it's not a game, but that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Those behind you are following you, and they're following the leader, and they're doing as you do. So make sure you're doing things the way they need to be done. Again, it's Finding Your Purpose Walk. That's my Facebook group. I love y'all. More importantly,